My beloved child, you did not arrive here by your own will. It was I who brought you to this moment. You now stand at a significant threshold in your journey, a place where you are being called not merely to listen, but to be transformed, to be revived, to begin again with a renewed awareness. Every word I speak, every line you are reading, carries within it an opportunity, a way out of the worn pathways of anxiety, exhaustion, and self-doubt. Not a single word you are receiving now is random or meaningless. Each one is a living seed, sown deep within the spiritual soil of your being, waiting to be received by a heart attuned to truth. If you embrace these words with gratitude and faith, they will begin to sprout, to grow, and one day they will bear sacred fruit beyond the understanding of man. You are being called to restoration, to cleansing, and to receive a new direction for your life. These words are not merely to comfort you in this moment, but to lead you into a new dimension of living. I see every hurried step you take, every whirlwind that life draws you into like a relentless storm. The world, with its many demands, its responsibilities, duties, ambitions, dreams, and fears, ceaselessly battles for your time and attention. The clamor of modern life, the endless to-dos, the relentless flow of information, the messages, the appointments, the expectations, they crash toward you like a mighty flood, often leaving you unable to discern what is truly essential and what merely clutters your soul. I see how often you grow weary, not necessarily in body but in mind, which is never allowed to rest. You keep moving, yet feel empty inside. You still smile, but beneath that smile is a silent sky no one else can see. You continue fulfilling your duties, but your soul is parched like cracked earth that has gone too long without the refreshing presence of my spirit. Sometimes, what is most precious is not what you achieve outwardly, but the clarity you possess inwardly. In a world that races to do more, I am calling you to be more, deeply present. Even just a few minutes you set aside to return to yourself and turn your heart toward me can unlock revelations that years of hurried striving could never provide. One single moment of your soul choosing stillness before me is enough for me to plant within you a wisdom that transcends intellect, a peace that no external circumstance can buy. Do not underestimate the power of stillness. Do not think that only in action are you doing something useful. It is in the pausing that your soul finds healing. It is when you step out of the noise that you can finally see how far you've drifted and what needs realignment. It is when you are quiet that I have space to speak, and you will come to realize I was always there, waiting for you to return, not with rebuke, but with a sacred embrace, for a child whom I eternally cherish. My beloved, you do not need to strive to become more in order to hear me. You simply need to be here, with your raw heart, with the questions you have yet to answer, with the dreams that still hang unfinished, with the disappointments you've never dared to speak aloud. I do not need you to come in perfection. I need you to come in truth, and in that truth our encounter will unfold. No condition, no rituals, only your quiet willingness to be still and to listen. I do not demand that you abandon everything in your life, but I do long for you to prioritize what truly nourishes your soul. Each day, amidst your many plans, carve out a small space for me, a place where your soul can find rest, a moment in the day when all else fades away, and it is just you and me, in a sacred, unspoken presence. Let that time become a place of intimate encounter, where you don't need to perform, don't need to achieve anything, but simply be. And I too will be simply who I am, your unchanging Father, the one who calls your name with unwavering love and tireless patience. And from that stillness you will emerge renewed in spirit, no longer tossed about by meaningless temptations, no longer swept away by the demands of others. You will begin to see more clearly what truly matters. You will choose, not out of haste, but from a place of clarity. You will speak words that are timely, appropriate, and purposeful, and you will begin to live not just to accomplish, but to connect deeply with me, with your own true self, and with those I have placed around you. My beloved child, as you are slowly learning to pause, to listen, and to enter the sacred stillness, carry within your heart a profound awareness that you are being given a precious gift, the understanding that comes from heaven. This clarity is not meant to be admired like a beautiful gem, but to be used like a compass, to guide each step you take on your daily journey. When you begin to view your life through the lens of the wisdom that comes from me, you will see that many things which once consumed your time and energy brought no lasting value. Some relationships merely kept you trapped in cycles of pain. Some ambitions pulled you away from your true essence. Some fleeting pleasures robbed you of the awareness I had sown within you through tears and grace. And so I am calling you back to the center, to what is truly worth offering your time and heart to. If in your heart you truly long for the blessings that come from me, not just material abundance, but deeper and more enduring treasures such as peace, healing, understanding, and contentment, then let me see that desire through the way you live. Let every action, every choice, every word you speak be a declaration. I am ready. Do not merely yearn in prayer, but prove it through commitment. By choosing what is right even when no one sees, by placing me above every other priority in your life. Because, my child, time is something that once passed will never return. It is not like the rain that can come and go and come again. Time is a river that flows in only one direction, and every careless moment is a portion of your life forever lost. Do not let the years slip by, only to one day look back with regret and whisper, if only I had made time to love, to forgive, to live according to the deep purpose I was created for. I know there are days when you feel overwhelmed, when the weight on your shoulders seems too heavy to lay down. I see the times you are pulled into the whirlwinds of responsibility, pressure, and the things you feel you must do to be accepted. But I am here to tell you, you do not have to do everything. You only need to do what you are called to do. You do not need to race against time. You only need to live fully in each moment I give you, so that every passing second becomes a sacred investment into the eternal well-being of your soul. Remember this, my child. In a single fleeting moment, everything can change. One timely word can rescue a soul. One firm decision can redirect a future. 1 minute of turning back to me with a broken heart is enough for me to intervene, to heal, and to grant you a completely new beginning. The things that fell apart in the past, the doors you thought were permanently closed, the dreams you believed had died, I can bring all of it back to life when you are ready to believe that nothing is wasted if it is placed in my hands. Indeed, you may lose many things in this life, opportunities, wealth, friends, even your reputation. But the most precious thing you must never trade away is the time spent living in the divine purpose I have prepared for you. For this doesn't only shape your own future, it touches the lives of those around you. Those I have placed on your path, not by accident, but by design. You are a part of a greater plan, and every decision you make contributes to the unfolding of that sacred tapestry. So then, my beloved, choose to live with intention. Awaken each day not merely to survive, but to live fully. Aware, courageous, and anchored in hope. See each morning as a blank page, where you are invited to continue writing the story of your life, with sincere words, loving actions, and choices that reflect you understand what truly matters. If you will give me your time, I will return to you wholeness. If you guard your heart from what drains without building, I will fill you with a clarity the world cannot comprehend. If you choose what is right, even the small, quiet things, I will use them to open doors you never imagined possible. And in that moment you will realize the seemingly ordinary moments were, in truth, the birthplace of miracles. Embrace this truth. Engrave it upon your heart. Let it become the very rhythm of your days. That time is a gift of grace, and every day lived in my presence and purpose is a step closer to eternal promise. You are no longer bound by the relentless pace of the world. I have called you out from it, to live differently, to live with the awareness that every moment is sacred, meaningful, and woven into the glorious journey I have ordained for you. My beloved child, I see the deepest places within your soul, places untouched by any other. I know every mark that time has etched upon your heart, the pain from what did not come to pass, the dreams once burning brightly now faded into distant memory, and even the silent sighs in the night that never reached your lips. Perhaps there have been moments when you looked back and whispered, if only you had chosen differently, had dared to step out when the chance was there, had not lost those you loved, if only you had known sooner what you now understand. I hear all the silent cries within you, the longing to be understood, to be forgiven, to begin again from a place that is pure and rightly aligned. Perhaps in your search for answers, you ran to many places, seeking validation from others, striving to be valued, throwing yourself into the world's competitions, hoping something out there might finally make you feel whole. But in the end, you only found yourself more empty, more weary, as though your soul had lost something profound. Something you couldn't quite name, but always sensed in the quietest of moments. My child, what you are seeking is not far away, nor is it found in the dazzling things of the world. It is here, in this very encounter between you and me, this moment, right now, as you pause, open your heart, and listen to me, is an opportunity for an entirely new beginning. Do not think that your life must undergo massive changes in order to turn around. No, my beloved. Sometimes a gentle step back, a moment of stillness, a quiet pause to hear my voice is enough to redirect a path you thought was already set in stone. Remember, I created the heavens, the earth, the seas, and all living things by the power of my word. The entire universe was spoken into existence, and today that same word is being spoken over your life. I do not need much time to perform a miracle. I only need a heart that is ready, one moment of openness to my presence, one quiet nod of the soul saying, I long to hear you, Father, is enough for me to begin the work of healing, restoration, and redirection within you. Do not underestimate the power of a momentary encounter. I am not limited by time, by setting, or by outward circumstances. I can use what seems small and ordinary to reveal something extraordinary. Do not think you must be fully prepared or worthy to meet me. It is precisely in your weariness, in the moments when you feel inadequate, weak, or lacking understanding, that is when I can enter most deeply, because your heart is tender enough to receive, and I will not let that moment pass. Let this time you are spending here become the foundation for a deep renewal. Let every word I speak fall like seeds into the good soil of your heart. Do not worry if you do not yet understand it all. Do not worry if it feels too late. With me, no moment is ever too late to begin again. Truly, I specialize in creating new beginnings out of broken pieces. I am not afraid of what has been shattered. In fact, I use those very fragments to display my unchanging love, my power, and my faithfulness. If you can believe that I still have something new to bring forth in your life, then today is the time to begin. Let go of what no longer belongs to you, the burdens of the past, regrets that cling like chains, dreams clouded by fear and doubt. Let them drift away, like a leaf carried downstream, away from a rock, and open your heart to receive what is real, not from this world, but from heaven. What I give will not drain your strength, but revive your spirit. So then, my beloved one, let this be the day you truly choose to let go, not merely with words, but with a quiet and profound resolve deep within your soul. I know that within your heart there are still wounds that have not yet closed, memories that linger like shadows dimming the new light. I see how you carefully hold on to the shards of pain, as though letting go would mean losing a part of yourself. But I speak this to you with all my love. No, you will lose nothing at all. On the contrary, you will find yourself again. The whole, radiant self I created you to be from the very beginning. Old wounds, even those from long ago, can cling to the soul like a shadow. They not only cloud your vision, but also weigh down your steps. Perhaps betrayal has left you struggling to trust. Perhaps cold words have turned your heart to stone. Perhaps disappointment has lingered so long that you no longer dare to dream. But my child, I did not create you to live in the bondage of the past. I created you to be free, to live each breath fully, with faith and with hope. Let what is past truly pass, not because it wasn't important, but because it no longer needs to occupy space in the journey ahead of you. Open your heart and allow the old tears to dry so that new smiles may take their place. Let your heart be cleansed of bitterness, whether toward others or toward yourself. Forgiveness does not mean denying the pain. Forgiveness is choosing healing over the repetition of wounds. And healing, my beloved, begins the moment you believe you are worthy of something better than what you've endured. Do not let despair shape your thoughts. Do not let bitterness become the lens through which you view the world. You were not born to carry forever the weight of defeat or pain. You were created to embody the brilliance of light and the power of resurrection. If I can make the sun rise each morning after the darkness of night, I can surely cause your heart to rise again, warm, vibrant, and full of new life. Allow yourself to believe in a brighter future, not as a distant fantasy, but as a promise drawing near. Let hope seep into every crevice of your mind, filling the spaces where fear once resided. Believe that you are on the path of becoming someone new, not bound by the past, not imprisoned by mistakes, but led by love, by truth, and by my unchanging goodness toward you. Each day as the sun appears, it is more than a natural rhythm of the earth. It is a reminder that I am giving you a new chance, a blank canvas upon which you may rewrite your story, not through others' judgments, not through old failures, but through the wisdom, courage, and fresh faith that now lives in you. Let each morning be a sacred covenant, that yesterday will not rob you of today, that old mistakes will not destroy your ability to love and to live fully in this present moment. You do not need to carry everything you have lived through. There are things to remember so you may grow, but there are also things to release so that you may rise. Do not turn yourself into a beggar of past days. Become instead the keeper of the treasure of new life. Choose what to keep and what must be let go. Lay down the burdens that hinder the sacred renewal unfolding within you, for you cannot receive what is new if your hands are still tightly grasping the old. I am opening before you a path, not a path already paved, but one filled with possibility. Upon it, each step you take will be a testimony of faith, and with every step will come something new, a renewed vision of who you are, a healed relationship, a clearer sense of purpose, a joy that is quiet yet profound in every moment. And you will be surprised to discover that life has never been void of hope. You only needed to pause long enough to notice the light quietly painting a new horizon. My beloved, the renewal you've been longing for is not far away. It is beginning within you. Every time you choose to forgive, every time you refuse to let pain speak louder than faith, every time you take a step forward even when the past still calls your name, that is when you are co-creating with me a new season of your life. So let your shoulders relax, breathe out what no longer serves the sacred life within you, and receive the new wind I am breathing into your soul. This is not a passing breeze, but the very breath of heaven, carrying restoration, courage, and promises never forgotten. You were destined to live, not merely to survive. Destined to be free, not chained to what once was. Let that truth become reality today. Do not wait another day. Do not wait for perfect conditions, for I have already chosen you, and the only thing you need to do is choose to live as one who has been chosen. My beloved child, after you have chosen to release the past, to lay down your burdens, and to open your heart to a new beginning, let the very words you speak become the first step in establishing the new reality I am inviting you into. For your words are not merely sounds, they carry creative power. They are the outflow of your inner being, a reflection of either faith or fear, seeds that are sown into both the spiritual atmosphere and your everyday life. Do you realize that what you repeatedly speak can shape the atmosphere that surrounds you? A word spoken in despair can weigh down the very air you breathe. A subtle remark dripping with sarcasm can wound a heart already fragile. A verbalized doubt can further fracture a faith already hanging by a thread. And yet, the reverse is also true. A single hopeful statement, a sincere prayer, these can become the extended hand that pulls someone from the edge of a dark abyss. Therefore, my child, begin with what is nearest to you, the way you speak to yourself and to others. Let your words no longer be reactions born from wounds or bitterness, but reflections of the healing that is taking place within you. Learn to support your own soul with words of kindness, rather than internal criticism disguised as self-awareness. Say to yourself, I am being transformed day by day. Say to your soul, I am being led, even when I cannot yet see the way. And say to those around you, there is hope. There is a way out. There is still a hand reaching for us, ready to lift us up. Reject the voices of negativity that try to creep into your mind. the ones whispering that you cannot change, that your life is doomed to failure, that your efforts are dust in the wind. Those voices do not come from me. They are the voice of the enemy of your soul, who seeks to rob you of faith before your breakthrough comes. And I say to you, do not answer them. Do not argue. Do not reason. Simply stand firm and respond with unwavering belief. With the one who loves me, all things are possible. Never underestimate the power of a simple word. A well-timed, "I believe you can make it," can plant a seed of life in someone teetering on the edge of despair. A quiet, "I know you're tired, but I'm here," may be the only lifeline keeping a soul afloat in turbulent waters. And words like these are what you can carry with you each day. You do not need to be eloquent, nor must you speak with polished phrases. You only need honesty, spoken with love and faith. Even when you feel unsteady, even when weakness lingers in your spirit, continue to speak life. For when you declare what is right and true by faith, it not only touches those who hear, but it transforms you from within. Faith does not bloom when everything is easy. It rises in the moments you choose to speak truth amidst contradiction. And when you do, you shatter the invisible chains of doubt, fear, and insecurity that have held you far too long. My beloved, remember this. What I give you is not empty reassurance. I give you my Spirit, the one who dwells within you, who works through you, who will give you the words to speak at the very hour you need them. So do not be afraid when you feel insufficient. I will be your sufficiency. I will put the right words on your tongue, place tenderness in your heart when comfort is needed, and give you eyes full of courage to look into the truth and still choose to love. And remember, the words you sow today will take root and blossom in the days to come. Every word of encouragement is a seed. Every declaration made in faith is a step taken on waters stirred by waves. Every word spoken from a sincere heart becomes a bridge connecting you to the glorious destiny already prepared for you. You do not need to wait until everything is settled to begin speaking life. It is that very speaking that will lead you and others into stability. So, my beloved child, from this day forward, guard your mouth as you would the gates of a city. Let your words be like streams of cool water, reviving souls that have grown weary. Let what you say reflect the light I have kindled within you, and even when no one responds, keep sowing words of life, for you too will grow by the very things you declare in faith. Receive the truth I am offering you, not merely as a fleeting encouragement, but as a sacred flame that burns away all doubt, that illuminates each choice, each decision, each step you are to take. This truth is not simply a collection of noble thoughts to contemplate. It is the firm foundation upon which every aspect of your life is meant to be built. Let it sink deep into your mind, piercing through every layer of reasoning you've erected, surpassing even the old memories that once taught you to fear and to doubt. Let this truth become your inner compass, so that when you must choose between what is easy and what is right, between what is comfortable and what is sacred, you will know how to choose what belongs to the light. You will face trials. I do not promise a path free from hardship, but I assure you of this: no trial will ever surpass the power I have placed within you. There may be times when you are surrounded by inner doubt, quiet, persistent voices that cause you to question yourself, the path you walk, and the promise I planted within your heart from the beginning. You may look at your finances and see a chasm wider than your resources, feel pressures heavier than your strength. Within your family, There may be smoldering conflicts or wounds yet to be healed, making it feel as though you are carrying the weight of a broken household on your shoulders. I see it all, and I do not turn away from you in those moments. On the contrary, I am closer than ever, ready to intervene, to support, to transform everything if you choose to invite me in. Disagreements, misunderstandings, and the deep cuts within relationships, they are not the end. They are invitations to return to the one who can mend what the world believes cannot be restored. No matter how dark your circumstances may seem, no matter how heavy your heart may feel with unspoken burdens, I want you to know this: there is always a door open, and that door is my presence, a help already made available, not requiring you to prove yourself, but simply to say with courage, "Father, I need you." No conditions, no formalities, just a heart that is honest and humble. And I will come, like rain upon dry land, like a quiet dawn dispelling the long night. So do not delay another day. Do not wait until you are more stable, more worthy, or less busy. Begin the journey of restoration today. Pause amidst the noise and whisper in your heart, "Father, I need your help." That simple plea is enough to alter the very course of your life. Open your heart to receive what I am offering. Do not brush aside the small signs I send: a friend calling at the right moment, a phrase echoing in your mind, a dream that stirs your spirit, a passage of scripture opened by divine timing. These are not coincidences. They are heavenly assistants, signals to remind you that you are not lost. You are simply being called home. When you begin to receive this help, you will feel every part of your soul being revived. Places that once seemed lifeless will begin to breathe again. The areas you once avoided because the pain was too much will be illuminated by love. I will not overwhelm you. I will move gently, slowly, like the morning light touching the window pane. But day by day, step by step, you will see yourself being renewed, not just on the surface, but deep within your very being. I will restore to you what was lost: faith, tenderness, forgiveness, patience, and joy. And I will do this not so you can live only for yourself, but so that you may become a source of life for others. When you are healed, you will become a healer. When you are rebuilt, you will know how to lift others who are falling apart. In this quiet moment, I invite you to come closer. Not with a polished image, not with achievements you believe will make you more worthy, but simply as you are, with all your truth. Come to me as you are, bringing your incompletions, your unresolved longings, your burdens that weigh heavy on your shoulders, because I do not love you once you are perfect. I love you right in the middle of your learning to heal, learning to trust, and learning to let go. You do not need to have everything in order before you come to me. It is in the mess that I am waiting. It is in the tangle that I am willing to step in and begin to gently undo each knot. Let me do the part you've grown too weary to keep handling on your own. But if you truly treasure what I am placing before you, these words, these new beginnings, these mercies that are fresh each morning, then show it by how you live, because love is not just a feeling, it is a choice expressed through action. Gratitude is not just spoken, it is revealed in the decisions you make each day. I do not require you to perform great feats to prove your devotion. I only ask that you learn to prioritize me in a world overflowing with distractions. Hear this, my beloved. the seemingly small interruptions, a call, a message, a drifting thought, are silently stealing sacred moments, the very times when you could be touching real life, receiving timely wisdom, or simply resting in my peaceful presence. They are not big, they are not frightening, but precisely because they are so familiar, they slip in unnoticed and take root. They cause you to rush past what you were meant to pause and reflect upon. They make you forget that your heart needs stillness to hear me. Stay alert, dear one. Recognize how small things can hinder great things. Stop. Take a deep breath, not just with your lungs, but with your soul, and exhale all tension, all distraction, all pressure to keep up. Enter into my presence as into a shelter. This is not another task on your to-do list. This is where your soul is watered. This is the moment where you no longer have to strive to be strong, but can simply be a child resting in the arms of the Father. As you sit still in that space, you will begin to hear what the busyness of days has made you forget. That I am speaking to you, that my voice does not come with thunder, but with a gentle breath, not in haste, not in force, yet always present, tender and full of love. Do you know, my child, the forces that are keeping you endlessly busy and drained? They are not random. These are the subtle yet most effective distractions that pull you away from our sacred place of encounter. They whisper to you that you are too busy to pause, too tired to pray, or too empty to listen. They thrive in your constant movement when you believe you are progressing forward, but in truth, you are running in circles without direction. I never designed your life to become a machine of relentless motion. I created you to live, to feel, to be heard, and to be loved. But when you are always doing, always giving, and never pausing to receive, you slowly lose your sense of direction. And in that space, the only voice left ringing in your ears will be the noise of pressure, of expectations, of disappointment, not my voice. So today I invite you to choose again. You don't need to change your entire life in a day. You only need to choose to stop for a few minutes and let me speak. Simply choose to make space for your soul, to listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. And when you do, you will be surprised to realize, I've been here all along. I never left. And you, busy, tired, or feeling lost, are still the child I've been waiting for, calling back to me and treasuring deeply. Do this not out of duty, but because your soul deserves to rest. Choose to return to real breath, to true presence, to holy stillness, where all the noise fades and only you and I remain. In that place, I will reveal to you things no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has imagined. Strategies not of man, promises not bound by circumstance. Transformations that begin in the most hidden places. Come just as you are, my beloved. And I, who never grow weary of loving you, will take care of the rest. Give me the space to restore you. Give me the time to renew you. And then you will find yourself no longer ruled by the frantic rhythm of this world, but instead living by the gentle, powerful heartbeat of heaven pulsing within your own. You were not created to be exhausted. You were created to live in my presence, and that very presence, right now, is calling you home. You have looked up and pleaded with me to make a way through the maze of weariness and burdens. And today I have come not only to answer that prayer, but to lead you into a deeper truth. You do not merely need a way out. You need true liberation. And that freedom does not begin with changed circumstances, but with the transformation of your soul. The freedom you long for does not lie outside of you. It is not dependent on others or the environment around you. It begins within, from the moment your soul becomes fully enveloped by my love, unconditional, eternal, and complete. When my love surrounds you not as a concept but as a living, breathing reality, every chain within begins to break. Fear recedes, anxiety quiets, and bitterness no longer holds the dark corners of your heart. Do you know what happens when you truly begin to understand me, not just with your mind but with your whole heart? When you let my being touch every hidden part of your soul, even those places you've locked away out of fear or pain. What happens is deep healing, not loud, not hurried, but gentle, like the morning light breaking through the mist. The more you understand me, the more the things that once burdened your heart begin to lose their grip. The ghosts of your past will fade, not because they never existed, but because my love is stronger than their shadow. Observe each day you are living. Perhaps you don't see anything spectacular unfolding, but pay attention to the smallest of things. Have you noticed that your heart no longer panics as it once did when the waves come crashing in? That you've learned to remain silent when misunderstood, to forgive when wounded, to hold firm in faith, even when answers have not yet arrived. These are signs that my love is doing its work within you, bit by bit, layer by layer, each shattered piece being restored by grace. Do not expect change to come in a moment of dazzling thunder and lightning. The greatest miracle is not what transforms before your eyes instantly, but the quiet, steady journey of a soul being restored day by day, hour by hour. It is when you learn to trust me not because I always give you what you want, but because you know I always provide what you need. It is when you realize you do not have to control everything, because I am already there, holding your hand through each step I have long ordained. True freedom comes not when you try to control everything in your life, but when you learn to surrender. Not surrender out of weariness, but surrender out of trust. Trust that my hand is wide enough to carry what you cannot comprehend, strong enough to keep you steady, and gentle enough to wipe away your tears without making you feel weak. My beloved child, let my love be the refuge of your soul. Every time you choose to step into my presence, instead of chasing fleeting things, you take one step closer to true freedom. When you open your heart and allow me to shine light into places you once kept hidden, you will find that there is nothing left to be ashamed of, nothing that needs to be covered. For my love does not come to judge, but to restore, not to interrogate, but to shelter, not to accuse, but to set you free. Do not rush through this journey. Do not measure transformation by external milestones. Instead, measure it by the peace that is growing within. Measure it by the times you choose kindness over retaliation, steadfastness over retreat, trust over resentment. These are signs of a soul being drawn deeper into my very being. And here is the miracle. You do not have to do this alone. I will walk with you through every season, every wilderness, every storm. I will be your strength when you are weary. I will be the whisper that reminds you of what is true when you forget. I will be the eyes that guide you when you walk through the fog. And I myself will be the joy no one can steal from you. So, my dear one, keep moving forward. Even if slowly, even if trembling, walk with the assurance that you are being led, And if you stumble, remember that I am still right there, not to condemn, but to lift you up again. Because true deliverance is not the absence of falling, but the presence of a hand always ready to help you rise. You have asked me to make a way, and I tell you the way is already opening, within your own heart, within the presence I offer you each day. Keep walking toward the light. Let my love become the beginning of every transformation, and you will see freedom is not something you must search for in far-off places, but something you are receiving, step by step, as you allow my being to become the home of your soul. My precious child, now that your heart has been opened to receive the deep truth of the love and deliverance I have for you, let me come and dwell in the innermost place of your heart, not as a visitor who comes and goes, but as the eternal sovereign, the everlasting king of your soul. Let me be not merely the one you turn to when you need help, but the place where you truly belong, the one to whom you give your entire life with all your trust, surrender, and love. You once tried to stand firm in the midst of storms, holding your head high through trials, even when your heart was filled with anxiety. But now I say to you, you no longer have to struggle alone. Let me be your defender, the strong fortress when the world around you trembles, the mighty arm that lifts you each time you fall, the invisible shield that protects you from the unseen arrows of fear and doubt. When I dwell within your heart, nothing can separate you from the peace that surpasses all understanding. And in this very moment, amidst the weary echoes of life, I call to you, lift up your hands, not as a sign of surrender, but as a glorious symbol of a conqueror. Even if you feel drained of strength, even if you believe you have nothing left to offer, even if you are weary from waiting and disappointed by delays, I still call you to rise and lift your gaze. For in the spiritual realm, surrendering to me is the key that opens the door to victory. When you raise your hands, you are not only receiving me, but you are also declaring your rejection of every chain the darkness ever tried to place upon you. Let your hands become the bridge between heaven and earth. Let every movement declare, though my circumstances remain unchanged, my heart has begun anew. And this seemingly simple act, when you lift your hands in faith, becomes a resounding cry in the heavens that a warrior has chosen not to give up. My beloved, I have seen how many times you've sat in silence from exhaustion, how often you've bowed your head in disappointment, yet my eyes have never left you. And today, when you choose to raise your hands in faith, I will choose to shake what seemed unshakable around you. You may feel lost, directionless. The stirring within may seem faint, and you may no longer remember why you began. But remember this: faith is not based on feelings. Faith lives by truth, and the truth is this: you have been chosen. You have been sealed with my name. You are not defeated. You are not a victim of fate. You are not someone forgotten. You are one who has been called, trained, equipped, and sent. And even though your eyes have not yet seen the victory, in heaven a banner has already been raised for you. Sweep away the negative thoughts as one who clears the debris from the path ahead. Do not cling to old words that once made you question your worth. Do not let the silence of people make you believe you are invisible. Do not let mocking laughter or surrounding indifference drown out the voice I am speaking within you. Let it go. Shake off the dust and stand tall like one who has been restored, not by your own accomplishments, but by the unchanging faithfulness of the one who called you out of darkness into marvelous light. And when you lift your hands, Don't do it as a ritual. Do it with a heart that knows something is moving in the unseen. A source of power is being poured out. A battle is being won, not by sword or spear, but by a soul that chooses to believe in the midst of the storm. I am at work, not when you are strong, but when you are weak and still choose to surrender. That is true strength. That is the essence of real victory. So let your hands, even if they tremble from weariness, become a living symbol of an unshaken faith. For I have placed within you a victory that transcends your circumstances, a triumph that does not come from avoiding adversity, but from walking through it with unwavering trust. I have called you a conqueror even before you felt worthy of the name, because your victory does not come from you. It comes from me, the one who has overcome all things. Keep holding that posture, my child. Continue lifting your hands, even if they have fallen from weariness before. Raise them high as a reminder to your own soul. I belong to an unshakable kingdom. And let every power, every word of denial, every external pressure retreat before a radiant truth. You are a victor, not because you have never stumbled, but because you have never stopped rising in faith. My beloved, let this word be etched deeply into your soul. You have truly been set free. Not a temporary freedom, not a partial one, nor a freedom dependent on circumstances, but a lasting deliverance born of the unshakable love of the one who paid the price for you. You are no longer a prisoner of your past. You are no longer a victim of painful memories. You no longer have to live under the shadow of mistaken judgments that weighed on your shoulders for so many years. Now, you have been washed clean, lifted up, and placed in the place of honor that I appointed for you from the beginning. Receive this freedom not only as a sacred gift, but also as a powerful weapon. It is not something to be kept private, but a sword of faith to wield every time old thoughts, aching memories, or toxic words attempt to infiltrate your mind. Stand firm, not merely because you are encouraged, but because you have been recreated in my image, the image of the Almighty, full of mercy and strength. Remember, it was I who placed within you a new nature, the nature of one who is called, anointed, and equipped to live above every circumstance. Let no one, not even your own self, deny that truth. Let my words be the foundation upon which your identity is built. Do not let fleeting emotions or the voices of those who once hurt you define who you are. Do not let the cold gaze of the world cause you to doubt the sacred worth you carry. Do not let the memory of failures cloud the radiant future I am unfolding before you. You no longer live by the validation of the world, but by the confirmation of heaven. And I, who see all things, know all things, and love you wholly, I declare this: you bear a dignity that no one can take away. You possess a worth that cannot be measured by words or worldly standards. Even if the whole world turns its back on you, even if loved ones don't understand, even if friends walk away, you remain the precious gem in my hand. You are still the child I have chosen, the soul I am willing to defend at all costs. My dear one, let this truth become a sacred fire within you, a light that cannot be extinguished. When others say you are not enough, remember that I have called you enough. When the circumstances around you make you question yourself, return to my words and see that you were wonderfully made. When old wounds scream that you are unworthy of anything good, respond in faith, knowing that I myself have chosen you to receive what is better than you ever dared to dream. And if needed, I will do it all again. I would sacrifice once more, descend again into the depths, stretch out my arm again, just to pull you back from the edge of despair. Do you know why? Because I cannot stand still while the child I love suffers in darkness. Because my love for you is not just a promise on paper. It is action, it is blood, it is tears. It is power that transcends every boundary of time and space. Imagine, my beloved, if an earthly father is willing to give up everything for the child he loves, then how much more am I, your heavenly Father, the source of all true love, willing to give everything to see you free. And this willingness has not been shown just once, but forever, through the cross and through every silent moment when I stepped into the night of your soul, wiped away your tears, and whispered, "You still belong to me." So do not be afraid anymore, my precious one. Do not walk as one still bound in chains. Walk with the stride of someone who has been redeemed at a great price. Hold your head high, not out of pride, but because you have been restored. Love yourself in a healthy way, because I love you with an everlasting love. And from that awareness, love others not in hopes of being loved back, but because the love within you is now overflowing. Let every word you speak, every decision you make, every action you take reflect one truth. You are someone who has been set free. You are someone who once lay broken, but now stands upon the very ground where you once fell. You are the living proof that light does not just win over darkness once, but triumphs again and again, daily, faithfully, in every detail of life. And my child, if ever there comes a day when you forget this, if the trials grow so heavy that the light seems to dim, just come back. Return to the place where it all began, where my voice called you out of the darkness, where I took your hand and placed new life into your heart. You never need to search for me from some faraway place. Just one cry from your heart, and I will come again, reminding you of what you most need to hear. You are the one who has been redeemed. You are the child of the King. You are never abandoned. My beloved, as you walk forward in the new journey I am unfolding, prepare your heart to understand that not everyone will immediately welcome you with open arms. The spiritual transformation within you, the radiant restoration, the new light glowing from your soul, the unshakable peace, will leave some around you feeling confused, perhaps even uncomfortable. Some glances may turn skeptical, some words may mock, and even those once close to you may step back, unable to comprehend what is taking place within you. But child, do not let your heart be swayed by that rejection. The profound change in you is the result of my touch, the touch of the one who knows you fully, who saw you in your darkest hour, and who lifted you from the depths of despair. As this new light begins to shine from your life, it not only dispels the darkness within you, but also exposes the shadows in others. And for that reason, there will be some who cannot understand, who may even resist what they have not yet encountered for themselves. But hear me, this does not mean you are on the wrong path. On the contrary, it is a sign that you are exactly where you need to be. Light always unsettles darkness, and the presence of true light, a peace that the world cannot give, a strength that defies all logic, will disturb the hearts still wandering the borderlands between faith and fear. So when you face resistance, do not respond with hurt or anger. Do not feel compelled to defend yourself with arguments or proofs. Let your life speak for itself. Let the way you love, the way you show patience, the way you stay silent when needed, and stand firm when it matters, become the living testimony of the transformation that comes from me. Let your life radiate the essence of my truth, not by claiming superiority over others, but with a heart full of humility and a genuine longing to lead and lift others out of their own shadows. I know that you have lived under the fear of being misunderstood. I know there were seasons in your life when all you longed for was to be accepted, to be loved, to be trusted, without having to explain anything. And now, as I begin to transform you from within, you may once again face doubt, this time from those you once hoped would walk beside you. But do not be disheartened, my beloved. I am preparing you not only to be rescued, but to become a rescuer, not only to be led, but to become a leader. It is precisely those experiences, those moments of being doubted, misunderstood, even opposed, that will teach you patience, kindness, and courage. I do not need you to become hardened in order to fight back against others. I need you to be steadfast so that you do not lose yourself in the storm. Truth does not need to shout to be heard. It only needs to exist, whole, pure, and clear. And you, in this new journey, are the vessel through which that truth shall flow. When people say, "You've changed, you're not the same as you used to be," smile and say, "Yes, I've been healed." When they ask, "Why are you walking this path? What are you searching for?" let your eyes be filled with hope as you answer, "I've found a love that never changes." And when they distance themselves from you, let my love continue to flow through you, so that one day they may find me, not through your arguments, but through the way you live. True transformation is not merely an outward phenomenon. It is a sacred journey, quiet, yet unwavering, etched into every small choice you make each day. Be steadfast. Keep your heart soft. Continue walking, even if no one agrees with you. I am enough. My love is enough. My affirmation is the firm foundation that will keep you steady amidst the judgments of the world. Let the light within you become a source of warmth for those shivering in the dark. No need to condemn, no need to prove. Simply be present, fully, faithfully, and kindly. Walk with feet washed in forgiveness, hands soaked in mercy, and eyes always searching for opportunities to love more, to forgive deeper, and to lift others higher. My beloved, I have breathed into your soul my very essence, an essence that is unshakable, filled with compassion, brimming with patience, and overflowing with mercy. I have not only brought you out of darkness, I have filled you with light, so that you might become a true reflection of my love in a world that is slowly forgetting how to love. You have been called not only to walk in the light, but to carry that light into the hearts still wandering in the night of sorrow, anger, and despair. Let every gesture, every glance, every word, and every act you offer carry the fragrance of the compassion I have sown in the deepest parts of you. In moments when others are quick to lose patience, let it be you who remains enduring. When the world chooses to respond with harshness and judgment, let it be you who walks the gentler path of forgiveness, not because you are weak, but because you carry within you a quiet yet mighty strength, a strength born from the very nature of the one who chose sacrifice in order to bring life. I know there will be moments when your heart will want to shut itself down. Perhaps you've been hurt before when you opened up, belittled for your gentleness, taken advantage of for your kindness. But my child, do not let these things harden your heart. A cold heart is not where I dwell. I did not create you to become numb, but to be tender-hearted when you choose to love again. to believe again, to remain open even in the harshest of circumstances. That is when you are living most truly from the divine nature within you. Keep your heart open at all times. Do not let past wounds cause you to doubt the goodness I am pouring into your present. Let your heart be like a door slightly ajar, always ready to receive wisdom from heaven. For there are truths that cannot be learned from books, nor heard from the lips of men. Some of the deepest revelations can only be imparted when you are truly still, when your soul is no longer dominated by the clamor of the world. There will be moments when I come to you in sacred silence, a silence where no words are spoken, yet everything is understood. It is in that place I pour into you a peace that surpasses understanding. You will sense my presence not through teaching, but through stillness, like a gentle breeze brushing the surface of a quiet lake. Do not fear that silence, my child. Within it lies the most intimate connection between you and me. Cherish it. Learn to be still and know that I am God, the one who loves you not merely with words, but with an unceasing presence. There will also be times when I speak to you clearly, words that do not merely reach your ears, but pierce the depths of your heart. It may be a scripture you've read 100 times that suddenly glows with fresh meaning. It may be a passing comment from someone unaware that they've just been used by the Spirit to confirm what I've been sowing in your heart. And at times, through a faithful friend, a soul I have placed beside you for the journey, you will receive my guidance, whether through their encouragement, their intercession, or even their silent, knowing presence. Do not close your heart to wisdom simply because it comes from unexpected sources. Do not reject a gentle correction just because it comes from someone unlike you. I can use anything, anyone to speak to you, if your heart remains tender and ready to listen. It may be a child, innocent and pure. It may be an elder whose eyes carry the weight of long-lived wisdom. It may even be a seemingly mundane moment in your day, but if you live with the posture of always seeking me, you will begin to perceive me everywhere, in every detail, every breath, every heartbeat of life. And remember this, my beloved, the closer you live to my nature, the more you will find yourself separated from the values of the world. You will feel yourself drifting away from old conversations, no longer drawn into judgmental thoughts, no longer easily swept up in meaningless fears. But do not grieve this shift. It is the evidence that you are growing in the Spirit. Let that difference be a clear sign that you are being transformed from glory to glory. And on this journey you will not walk alone. I will not only show you what is right, but I will walk beside you in every effort to live rightly. I will strengthen you when you choose love over anger. I will uphold you when you choose to forgive again, even when the pain still lingers. I will enlighten you when you choose to listen in silence instead of reacting hastily. Every time you live according to my nature, you are planting a seed that belongs to the kingdom of heaven, and those seeds will bear fruit. Sweet fruit for your soul, and shade for those you encounter. I am whispering into your spirit an unchanging truth, that my love for you is not only sufficient to comfort, but powerful enough to dispel every darkness. My love is the safest refuge amidst invisible storms, a fortress unshaken by the roar of fear and confusion. It does not merely wrap you gently when you are weak, but also places in your hand a sharp, invisible weapon, enabling you to stand firm on battlefields without name. Whenever anxiety, threat, or insecurity rush in like a violent wave, remember, you are never alone. Do not let fear silently steal away the peace I have poured into your heart. Return quickly to the truth. The words I have spoken, etched forever, untouchable by time or circumstance. Let your mouth become the gate through which heaven's power is released. Do not hesitate to speak. Declare the promises I have given you. Let your lips resound like the trumpet of a spiritual warrior, bold, unwavering, and full of faith. When you speak the truth, whether in a whisper or in a resounding cry, the unseen realm must take notice. Proclaim my protection over the very place you live, over the ones you love, over every step you take. Anoint each room with my word. Seal every door in the mighty presence of the Holy Spirit. Repeat what I have spoken. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Let my word be your shield, my truth your wall. My name the banner raised high over your territory. You are not as fragile as you once believed. Within you dwells a strength born of my very essence. It is not human strength, but supernatural courage, unwavering boldness and wisdom that flows from the one who never errs. When you walk with the awareness that I dwell in you, no force can shake you from that foundation. Let your courage be the answer to every threat. Let the clarity in your spirit be the lamp that guides you when the path ahead seems dim. And never forget this, my child. Joy is a weapon of immense power. It is not merely a feeling, it is one of the mightiest spiritual responses against darkness. When you choose joy in the midst of trials, the enemy is confounded. When you praise in the storm, they tremble. When you lift your head with gratitude, even while the world crumbles, the spiritual realm quakes. For joy in adversity is a sign that you are not defeated but lifted by a strength greater than any pain. When your soul soars in that holy joy, no force can block your way. That joy does not come from the comfort of circumstance, but from the unshakable truth that I am there, near, faithful, unchanging. And the enemy will not be able to comprehend how you can still sing amid the ruins, how you can keep walking when all else has collapsed. But that very mystery disorients them. They cannot map a soul that honors the Most High, even while surrounded by shadows. My beloved, remember this: your devotion is not measured by ease. It is proven in every decision you make in the delicate space between faith and fear. Each time you choose to remain faithful, though no one sees. Each time you choose to honor me when there is nothing to celebrate. Each time you pray through tears without giving up. These are the moments of highest worship. I see each one. And what you do in the secret place, I will declare and reward openly. My love never demands perfection from you, but it always invites you into depth. Your devotion is the flame that lights the path the enemy cannot tread upon. It is the emblem of the relationship between you and me, a bond not woven by religion or rules, but by love, faith, and life that flows from me. When you set your heart upon me, you step into a sacred dimension, where no circumstance can strip away your true joy. Live each day as an act of praise. Let every breath, every step, every decision, and every word reflect this truth. I belong to the one who called me from nothing. And never underestimate the spiritual influence you carry, for you are not living for yourself alone. Your faithfulness is breaking chains for those around you, those silently watching, still seeking light amidst the night. So, my beloved, let joy be the unending song upon your lips. Let devotion be the unfading fragrance upon your soul. And let my perfect love continue to cast out every fear, little by little, day by day. For you are not merely one who is loved, you are one who carries that love into the world. And no matter how cold this world may be, it cannot resist the fire burning brightly within you, for that flame comes from heaven. And you are the light I have ignited. My precious child, there are moments on this journey when everything around you feels engulfed in fog, when you can no longer see the way forward, nor grasp even a fragment of hope. Waves of doubt and despair rise as though they intend to swallow the very life within you. These voices roar not only from without, but whisper within, convincing you that you've reached your final limit, that there is nothing left to strive for, no one left to trust, nothing left to hold on to. But I speak to you now, with all the love and authority that is mine. When the seas rage, I am the one who commands the waves to be still and the winds to fall silent. When your heart trembles before invisible storms, it is I who rise in the power of eternal life and command every tempest to retreat. Even when you feel as though you are sinking, my eyes have never left you. And with just one word from me, the flood waters must recede, for I am not a God who merely observes. I am the God who moves on your behalf. There will be times when you reach the very end of human strength, when every option has run dry, when no one seems to hear, when all support grows silent. But, my dear one, it is precisely then that my time arrives. For my power does not come to replace your efforts, but to complete what you cannot carry on your own. When you are empty, I am full. When you are weak, I am strong. When your silence is steeped in despair, it is then that I call your name in a hope that does not fade. Do not hesitate to turn toward me even when you have no prayers left to give. Simply place your heart in my hands, not with eloquent words, but with a simple cry, "Father, help me." And in that very moment of simplicity, I will come. I will bring light to the places you thought were drowned in darkness. I will reignite the spark of hope you believed had gone out. I will set your feet back upon solid ground when everything beneath you feels like it's collapsing. Let my words, the ones that sustained generations, that called forth life from death, that brought light into the chaos at the dawn of creation, resound deep within you. Let every utterance from me become the scarlet thread that weaves faith into your being. Do not allow your mind to be overtaken by the whispers of fear. Instead, let my voice rise above every doubt, speak louder than every sorrow, and shine brighter than any darkness you will ever walk through. Remind yourself daily, you are not lost, you are not abandoned, you are not adrift, you are mine. You are the one I have called by name. You belong to me, a truth that no one can undo, a reality no force can steal. Let this truth echo like a background melody behind every breath you take, every step you walk, every moment you live. Repeat it until all other voices are silenced, until every old judgment and worn-out label fades like mist beneath the rising sun. Live with this awareness. You are not walking through trials alone. It is I who walk beside you, upholding you, whispering into your soul each time you stumble. Rise again, for there is still a beautiful chapter ahead. And even when the world around you turns gray, I will paint your journey with colors of hope, mercy, and everlasting faithfulness. I know there are days when you feel nothing. You read my words, yet your heart remains empty. You pray, but only silence seems to answer. Yet, my beloved, it is in those very days that I am working in the deepest and most hidden ways, like roots sinking deep into the earth, unseen, yet essential. My silence is not absence, but an invitation for you to enter into a deeper trust. Be patient, for even in the waiting, your faith is growing stronger day by day. And a moment will come when, looking back, you will see that the place where you thought you had failed, the place that seemed like the end, was in fact the beginning of something far more beautiful. I will turn what you thought was loss into a foundation of wisdom. I will transform every tear into a seed for a sacred harvest. And you will understand that no moment in your life is meaningless when it is placed into my hands. So, my child, continue on. Walk forward even when you are weary. Trust even when your eyes are filled with tears. Step ahead even when the path is unclear. For I am the light that goes before you. And each step you take, whether trembling or strong, brings you closer to the place I have prepared for you. A place where the voice of the enemy is silenced, where the burdens of the past fall away, and where unshakable peace fills the hearts of those who know they belong to a kingdom that cannot be moved. My beloved, every time you choose to place your trust in me, even if it's just a faint glimmer of hope in the thick of night, all of heaven rejoices. You are never alone in your journey of faith. You are not the only one standing against the darkness. Heaven itself is cheering for you, walking with you and upholding you with a love beyond human understanding. Every small act done in faith, every whispered prayer through tears, every act of forgiveness in pain, every trembling step forward is a sacred declaration that you live not by what you see, but by what your heart knows to be true. And that, my dear one, is the immeasurable beauty within you. Not your appearance, not your talents, not your worldly success, but the gentle strength of your soul. The capacity to believe without seeing, the perseverance to remain steadfast through spiritual drought, and the courage to still open your heart to love after it has been broken. Your worth is not found in what you can achieve, but in the one who created you and chose you even before you were formed in your mother's womb. You are a treasure, a light, a precious presence on this earth, because I myself have placed you here with a purpose no one else can fulfill. So come back, my child. No shame is needed. No preparation required. I am not asking you to come to me in perfection. I only desire that you come with a sincere heart. No matter how long you've been away, no matter how much you feel you've lost, no matter how far you believe you've strayed from your original calling, I am still waiting. My arms are still open. My heart is still entirely yours. Come back into my presence, like a weary child returning home after a long journey, for this is where you truly belong. Offer me your burdens, and you will no longer have to carry them alone. Lay down the weight of your anxious thoughts, the nameless worries that linger, the unresolved questions. Everything that presses on your heart like a heavy stone upon your chest, bring them to me, and I will breathe life into them. I will replace your exhaustion with renewal. I will exchange your weariness for an unending source of strength from the Holy Spirit. You were not born to live under the weight of burdens. You were born to live in companionship, in the gentle rhythm of my word and the flow of grace. If within you there are doubts about yourself, your future, even about me, do not hide them. Bring even those doubts to me. I do not turn away from your questions. I am not offended by your honesty. On the contrary, it is in that very honesty that I will lead you into clarity. I will open the eyes of your heart to see beyond what logic can comprehend. What was once blurred will begin to come into focus. The knots you could not untangle will begin to loosen under the light of my wisdom. Allow me to be the one who illuminates every shadow in your soul, and you will walk forward without fear of stumbling. And if you feel as though all you hold in your hands are broken pieces of your past, of a shattered dream, of a love once betrayed, of trust once lost, then I invite you to place those fragments into my hands. You do not need to piece them back together. You do not need to pretend that everything is fine. Let me hold them. For I, the one who created the universe from nothing, can craft from those fragments something new. Not a patched-up version of what was, but a creation entirely new, more beautiful, more profound, marked by the touch of divine restoration. I will not only heal you, I will make your life a living testimony of my faithfulness. Every crack will become a place through which my light shines. Every sorrowful chapter will be rewritten with a different ending. And every time you rise again, every time you continue to trust, I will use it to encourage another soul on the verge of collapse. Your life will not be healed for your sake alone, but will become a vessel carrying living water to the many around you who thirst. And when you live that way, loved, redeemed, chosen to carry life, the heavens will continue to rejoice. For every decision you make to trust is not merely a personal action. It is a spiritual declaration that light still triumphs, that love is still stronger than every wound, and that heaven is still moving through small, courageous people. So come, my beloved. Keep coming. Keep trusting. Keep placing your heart into my hands again and again. I do not tire of your return. On the contrary, I rejoice every time you call my name, and I will continue to receive you, to hold your hand, to heal you, and to paint with your life a masterpiece that only you can carry into this world. My beloved, this is not merely a fleeting comfort or a soft whisper amidst the noise of the world. This is a holy invitation, a powerful calling from my heart to the deepest place within your soul. Open your heart to me. Fully, completely, without holding anything back. Be brave enough to remove the shield you've built after so many wounds. Allow me to enter not only the bright places in you, but also the hidden corners you've long been afraid to face. You don't need to rearrange anything. You don't need to clean up or cover anything. I do not come to demand perfection. I come to love, to embrace, to restore. But I cannot do that if you open only part of your heart. If you still hold something back for fear of being hurt again. My love does not harm, it heals. My presence does not pressure, it uplifts. And my voice does not force, it gently leads. Allow yourself to expand within. Step back from every voice that makes you question your worth. Make room to truly absorb what I am speaking to you, not just with your mind, but with a heart that is hungry for truth. Sit in my presence. Take a deep breath and let my words soak into every fiber of your soul, into the deepest layers of your spirit. There is no need to rush to understand everything. Just remain in me, and I will do the rest. You have lived too long in a state of haste, striving to prove yourself, fearing you would be left behind. But now, I invite you to lay down all of that pressure. Reflect deeply on every word I have spoken, that you are unconditionally loved, that you have an eternal purpose, that you are not a mistake or a broken product. You are a masterpiece in the making, and if you allow that truth to take root in your heart, it will begin to transform even the smallest actions of your daily life. From the way you speak to yourself, to the way you love others. Forgive, choose, and walk in the light. My child, despair is a quiet intruder. It does not knock, but creeps in when you are weary, when prayers seem unanswered, when the door you've knocked on stays closed. But today I call you to steadfastly refuse it. Do not let despair find shelter in your heart. Do not give it space, not even a corner. Treat it as a deceiver. for it claims there is no more hope while I, the source of hope, am still right here, still overflowing, still alive, still moving behind the scenes on your behalf. The truth is, I have never left you, no matter how you may feel. There may have been dark moments when you thought I was silent, but my silence was not absence, it was preparation. It was the time when I was working in the deepest, most hidden ways. It was when I was arranging things behind the curtain you cannot yet see. And at the right moment, that curtain will be pulled back, and you will understand why I asked you to wait, why I taught you to trust, why I whispered into your heart, "Wait for me." My child, my love for you is not limited by the highs and lows of your emotions, or by the turbulence of the world around you. It covers you like an unfailing river, like a fortress that cannot be shaken, like a song that will never fall silent. It does not waver when you are weak. It does not fade when you stumble. It does not disappear when you doubt. It remains whole, unyielding, and always waiting for you to return, to remind you that you have always belonged to me. So, my beloved, do not be afraid to open your heart once more. Even if you have been disappointed, even if you have been wounded, even if you once believed and then lost your belief, I am still here, inviting you to believe again, to love again, to hope again. Not because you are strong, but because I am faithful. Not because you have enough strength, but because I am enough for you. Not because you are ready, but because I have always been ready for you. Let my presence be your refuge, where every storm must bow to peace. Let my words become the loudest voice in your life, louder than every opinion, louder than every fear, louder than every failure. Let my love burn away the barriers within you, so that from that place new life may flow. A life no longer defined by what was, but awakened by the one who never changes. And if you ask, "Where can I begin again?" then I say to you, start from this very moment. Right now, right here, by opening your heart, by choosing to believe once more, by refusing despair and choosing hope, and I will do the rest. I will lift you up. I will lead you. I will transform you from within. Now, offer to me the sincere prayer of your heart. You may pray like this: Lord, I thank you for bringing me to this deep place of recognition. Please help me to let go of all the layers I've built around myself in an attempt to shield my heart from old wounds. I open my soul to you, holding nothing back, that you may enter and heal every hidden corner I've long kept sealed. Touch my spirit with your unconditional love, and restore me to the original image you intended when you formed me. I long to live in the light of truth, no longer hiding, no longer afraid, only fully surrendered. Lord, I come before you with empty hands, but a heart longing to be filled with truth. I am weary of trying to live according to the world's rhythm, and now I only desire to walk in the gentle cadence of heaven. Teach me to cherish stillness, so that in its quietness I may hear your voice more clearly. Grant me spiritual ears to discern what truly nourishes my soul, and spiritual eyes to perceive the sacred treasures hidden within even the most ordinary moments. Lord, I do not seek miracles merely in outward circumstances, but I ask you to transform me from within. Set me free from the chains of my past, from the if-onlys and what should-have-beens, from self-blame and unnamed sorrow. I choose to believe that you can bring forth something new from what is broken, and I offer to you every shattered piece I carry. Begin again with my life, Father, and turn every scar into a testimony of your healing and the power of your love. Lord, I ask you to grant me a tender heart, one soft enough to keep loving after having been hurt, and strong enough to keep trusting after disappointment. Remove from me the bitterness that has lingered too long, and replace it with the living waters of forgiveness. Give me the courage to lay my burdens down, to release memories that no longer serve the holy purpose of my life, and to walk freely in the liberty you purchased for me at a great price. Lord, I lift my hands not because I am perfect, but because I am surrendering in faith. I choose to declare, even in the midst of storms, that you are where I belong, my fortress, my refuge. Grant me the strength to remain unshaken in the face of rejection, doubt, or misunderstanding from others. I know I am chosen, not by the approval of man, but by the unfailing love of you, my God. I walk forward with heaven's affirmation, and I choose not to look back. Lord, help me to simply sit in your presence without striving to prove anything. Do in me what I cannot do myself. Put the pieces back together, dry my tears, and whisper into the deepest places of my heart, you still belong to me. I no longer want to live in a rush. I want to live each moment as sacred, fully present with you. Lord, show me what is occupying my mind and consuming my time that holds no eternal value. Teach me to prioritize what feeds my soul and to reject distractions that are not from you. Help me to step back when needed, to be still when it's time, and to stand firm when I know I am walking in the light of divine wisdom. Lord, awaken within me a joy that does not depend on circumstances, but on the assurance that you are here, moving, working, and fighting on my behalf. Let this spiritual joy become a sharp weapon that causes darkness to tremble, lifting my soul above every worry. I choose to praise you in the midst of adversity, because I know whose hand is holding mine. Lord, I surrender to you every word I speak, every thought I think, every choice I make. May my words become a fountain of life, not only to myself, but to those around me. Help me not to speak from pain or use my words to wound, but to heal, encourage, and build up. Let my mouth be an instrument of light, declaring truth in the midst of confusion, and singing songs of victory, even as my heart is still learning to believe. Lord, protect my heart from hardness, from closing up in fear, and from the temptation to return to old patterns that once left me barren. Help me to live each day awake, not in fear, but in hope, not in doubt, but in faith. Today I choose to open my heart fully, and I believe from this moment forward, you will write a new chapter in my life, a chapter of freedom, healing, and everlasting love. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of the life-giving and meaningful messages from Him. Together, we will grow in faith and live a life fully immersed in His love. Amen.